Hello, it's Prince Easy, and well, let's pick up from where we left off last time, right? Pertaining that you are soil, right? So, animal magnetism, right? We talked about it and how basically it was suppressed systematically and removed from studies and research in general. Okay, we also talked about the artificial influences of the human magnetic field, which has severe consequences as we've discussed. Okay, and if you couple that with this quote-unquote energy crisis that the world is going through, with them saying that they have quote-unquote achieved fusion, that's more talk of even further more interference of the human magnetic field. Okay, because that's what it is. Yes, fusing. That's what it has been about. Yes, fusing and taking apart atoms. Yeah, and basically, electricity is the fundamental, as we shall see down the line. Yeah. Okay, and of course, there have been many studies about the effects of EMF on people, but the government seem to be ignoring this real problem that they even haven't even begin to assess, really. You know, it hasn't been assessed correctly to even determine how big is the problem. Okay, so our bones, yes, our tissue, our DNA, our protein, basically mineral molecules hold electricity. That's what holds them together. Yeah, that's cohesion. It's like a signature of God. Do you hear that? I hope the mic is catching it. You see that hum? Yeah. You hear that plane, right? That craft is spewing bioweapons. How about that? It's actually routine for these people. It's amazing how they have gone unnoticed, or rather, how protected they are. So, problem, reaction, solution. They create a problem, they expect or engineer a certain reaction, and then they present the solution. Okay, so in order to not fall for the trap, you can take out any of those three. Then the whole situation just breaks down, right? If you refuse what represent as a problem, then it will break down the reaction and solution, right? If you take away the reaction, you accept, yes, there's a problem, but if you refuse to react in a certain manner, then the hope breaks down, right? And if you do not accept the solution, because they always seem to have the solution after every problem they have artificially created. Okay, this is just a power move. Okay, this is just a power move, and if you want to free ourselves, we need to understand that these power moves exist, and we need to take notice. Take notice. And as I pointed out, who is responsible for this? Yeah, people and Nephilim. Yeah. That's what it is. And of course, the system always provides. The system always gives answers that do not help at all, right? I call it the QNet pendant. This company, this scam of a company called QNet, they once used my friend to approach me to try to sell me their stuff. Yeah. And on their catalog of things they had, you know, they had this pendant that had a thyroid lines on it, and basically they said it protects people from EMF, right? And then we have those pyramids that I've shown you, and I'll show you again in this video, right? We have EMF shielding, of course, the obvious, yeah, and of course the misdiagnosis of the minority being experimented on to perfect these weapons, yeah. But in reality they have perfected them, okay. And of course we have grounding, we have diet and its relation to cell generation, okay, because if they attack you with these weapons, they affect your cells, yeah, they affect the habit of your cells, amongst many things they can do with magnetic fields pointed or focused in a particular part of your body, right? So in the backdrop we have the reality, yeah, that God can interfere, yeah, God can interfere, and of course there's the issue of the field flip, yeah. I've observed a tendency that the field that operates in the world during the day, it actually flips during the night, okay. Now I don't know if it's a discharge type of situation, but it flips, okay. So if you make a device to harness this energy, then it has to also have the same tendency, or else it will create an equilibrium that will then in turn create dangerous and sticky situations, many. And as usual, the only solution to this highly charged problem is severe lightning, okay, the type of lightning that can melt whole buildings and start fires, that type of lightning, okay. So it's not type of power that people should be playing with without permission, okay. And as far as I know, I have that permission and nobody else, okay. So if you possess this technology, I suggest you turn it off, okay. But I know your nature, you don't listen, you're still defiant, you don't want to serve humanity, you think humanity is beneath you. So we shall see if humanity is beneath you or not, right? And of course we need to assess the damage, yeah, we need to assess the damage of what has occurred, or not has occurred, yeah. So this first end it there, right? And in the next video, of course, we shall talk about, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but powers and principalities. We shall talk about it, yeah. So let's get to some pictures, right? Okay, now this is the last assault, yeah, the last assault. And how is it going to happen? And Enoch makes it clear here, right? So it starts with 13, right? We saw the eagle, vultures, and the kites, right? And the ravens. they all gathered together in order to break the horn of a ram, right? The horn of a ram represents a crown. Yes, a crown. So they wanted to, it is basically talking about them colluding together to kill a person. Yeah, and they battle with him, with this person, and this person cried for help, right? And 8:14 over here, it says, help was sent from heaven, from the shepherd, yeah, and everything was showed to this ram, right? And it goes on to 15 and said, and God himself, after hearing the cry of the ram, came down with wrath, yeah, and all of him who saw that he was coming and he was here ran away, those evildoers. Yeah, and 16 it says, the eagles, the vultures, the raven, the kites were all gathered together. Okay, this is Gog and Magog, right? Or the product of thereof, right? And the product thereof. Just imagine what type of weapons will come out of Gog and Magog. Yeah. Yeah, more destructive, right? Yeah. Right now they are upgrading their weapons. Yeah, literally they're upgrading their weapons. So that's the reason of Gog and Magog, to prepare the entire earth to go against the camp of the saints. Yeah? And they all helped each other to break the horn of the ram, right? And again, he saw the man who wrote the book according to the command of the Lord, to open the book concerning the destruction. Okay, this is the book talked about in Revelations, yeah, and in some other parts of the Bible. Okay, now the writer of that book will open it, yeah, and basically it's talking about destruction, right? And it goes on to 18. Yeah, there's a lot to say about 17, but it will make me veer out of what I want to talk about. Yeah. And of course 18 it says, and I saw that the Lord of sheep came to them and took the hand of the staff of his wrath and smote the earth, and the earth cleave asunder, clave or something, yeah. And all of the beasts and the birds and heaven fell from among those sheep and were swallowed up by the earth, and it covered them, right? This is the Nephilim and basically the fallen angels' judgment. They will be swallowed up by the earth. And 19 in the middle, it says how this will occur, right? A great sword will be given to the sheep, yeah? That is Michael, war, right? And the sheep will proceed, will fight, okay? Will fight against the beasts of the field to slay them, okay? God will start with them. We will also jump in, okay, because they did not just sin against God, they sin against humanity itself, and it's unacceptable. And they will all be destroyed. Yeah. Now, if you want the future that you were never taught in church, that is the future, right? And to top it off, I have further extracts from the book of Enoch, right? We have from this chapter here, right? I hope you can read Romans. I've forgotten my Romans. Now, the fall of angels and the demoralization of mankind. Okay, so this, whatever is happening to humanity right now, it is orchestrated and it is engineered. It is basically a conspiracy to initiate self-destruction or anything like that. Okay. So here it talks about how the Nephilim were made. Okay, how the Nephilim were made and what inhabits the Nephilim, basically. Yeah? it talks about how the first demon to be cast down here to earth changed and become like a person. Okay, and when it mate with the women of humans, Nephilim were born. Yeah, and then these Nephilim were very frightening to humans. Yeah, and they devoured and killed humans. Yeah, that is the fact of the Nephilim. So before we talk about their redemption and whatnot, they killed humanity. Okay, so they have to face that. Okay, they have to face that. And they started to devour the men, yeah, and the children, and they began to tremble and flee from them. We ran away. Yeah, why not the women? Because the women were important to them, to their bloodline. Yeah, to their bloodline. And of course, they started to even kill each other. Yeah, and the earth cried aloud because of the war. Okay, if you can imagine this high technology that is based on electricity, that can turn rock to dust, can rearrange matter at its core, right? And the type of war, the type of effects that this war would have on humanity, just imagine that. Okay, and that's what happened, and that's what has been happening for years now, people, for years. Okay, years, many years. And he rose his head up to the sky. White men, 4. Okay, those people who have this confusion, I've also seen it in the truth cycles. The 4 horsemen are not demons, they're not evil. They came to help Israel. They came to help the ram. Okay? Israel needs to be secured in order for humans to even, okay, have a chance. Okay, so these angels come from heaven. Okay, they are white, they are shiny, they are fiery. And of course they took him away from the generations of earth and raised him up in a lofty place and showed me the tower raised high above the earth. Remain here till seest the thing that before the elephants, the camels. Okay, he's being shown now what will happen to the Nephilim. Okay, the camels, the elephants, the asses, these were the offsprings of the serpent. Okay, the offspring of the serpent. Okay, that firstly mated with a woman of humankind. Okay, and the 4, of course, it continues the punishment of the fallen by the archangels. Michael is one of the archangels. Okay, so when you see Michael, then you need to understand, you as a Christian, that hey, judgment is here. And if judgment is here, then something bigger is coming. You need to be attentive and aware to that. Okay, something big is coming. Okay, and that something big is the kingdom of God. So you need to be worthy, yeah, and worthy. You need to be worthy to get into it. Okay, and you cannot cheat your way into the new kingdom. You cannot, because these angels will see right through it. And of course, it goes on to insist that they killed each other, and the whole earth shaked because of them. Maybe they used bombs or other type of technology that existed in the past. But what I can say to you is, if you visit these historical sites, the evidence, the destruction, the evidence of their destruction is obvious. It's open. Okay, hell, we have some whole entire civilizations missing, no bones or anything, just poof, gone. Right? So it may depend on the type of weapons that was used in these wars. Maybe the type of weapons that can disintegrate a person and basically turn them into dust. Okay. Of course, now here we see number 3 in this chapter in the middle. We see that one of the angels threw a stone at them from heaven. Mm? And he also took all of the Nephilim. Okay, all the Nephilim, all those who mated with the women of the earth, and cast them into the abyss. Yeah, this is the end of the story of the Nephilim. Yeah. Of course, here it talks about, the deluge, before the flood. Of course, it talks about how Noah built the whole situation. Yeah, he was shown the vision. Okay, this is before everything happened. Okay, Enoch was older than Noah. So he was shown all of these things. Of course, it shows the white bull. Of course, the archangels have 4 faces. Yeah, a bull, a man, an eagle, and of course, a lion. Right. So one of the 4 can be representation of the archangels. So even Noah was instructed by an archangel to basically build the ark. Okay, so war was there during the times of Noah, and Enoch was shown. Okay, so this is a summary of the reality. Yeah. So this is from the Expendables, the last one. Yeah, we see Tralak here, right? Tralak, human sacrifice. Yeah? And if we examine their devices, they do believe in human sacrifices for the betterment of humanity, they say, right? And they need to fight these wars in order to keep the economy running. If there's no war, there's no economy. That is the Esau way. Yeah. So we have Tralak here. This is the ring that Stallone wore. Okay, and of course we have this theme from the Rick and Morty franchise. Yeah, we have him making the fake Jesus. Yeah, making the capstone signature with a hybrid person coming out of them, right? And in this series, they say that indeed the future will be mutation. People will be mutated, the mutant future. Yeah, that's what the Marvel movies is about. Yeah. So here we have some slippery way they can show that tattoo. Yeah, you remember the tattoo, the permanent tattoo we talked about? So this is in the movie Blue Beetle, and basically here they showcase that shield that can deflect bullets, and it's basically electric. And here the girl gets beaten by the serpent as part of as an initiation and such. They have to be mutated. And of course, in this franchise also we have the Indiana Jones type of situation. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And here we have them mocking Trump, and we see that he is showing the capstone. meaning the head of the stone, the beast, is here, right? And of course, this is the new Mission Impossible. Yeah, what do they have? What is the name of the satellite? Yeah, initiating Cold War. Yeah. And of course, we have from the Rick and Morty also them doing the capstone. Yeah, the capstone. Yeah, they're showing their allegiance to the devil, right? And then we have this shenanigan, like it is hard to to program a thing to do such thing, you know. Okay, here we have the alchemists. Yeah, the alchemists in the past were known, were infamous for being able to change one solid matter to another solid matter. Yeah, now here they're doing it again, and this thing in the middle here, it is basically electric. Yeah, it is basically electric, and if you have a powerful magnetic field, you can break this bond and even rearrange it. Yeah, now that is some pretty advanced technology. Yeah, making unknown forms of matter. But again, are they responsible? No, they are not. We know that they want to kill us, so we have to understand what they are doing with these so-called meta materials. Of course, we have an image from Stonehenge, more sun worship. Yeah. So, look. This war has already been won. All we have to do is move in the direction of winning it. Yeah, move in the direction of winning it by first understanding who you are fighting and why you're fighting. Yeah, and fight for each other. You know, no matter what happens, fight for each other. Okay, because of course our time here is pretty brief if you were to consider our real lifespan. Okay, understand this: we are immortal. Okay, we are immortal. We can lose this vessel at any time that God chooses. Yes, but that is not the end. Okay, that is not the end. And what we do right now, right here, in this time, in this vessel, is a factor of us being worthy of a happy afterlife or sad afterlife. Yes, you have been told about this. Okay, you have to take it very serious. Okay, you have to take it very, very serious. Okay. We have been on a path of like destroying ourselves like for a long time because of the regime. The regime was of the devil, right? The regime of the devil. So now there's a change of regime and they are afraid. Yeah, they are afraid. They have to now remind everybody that they're in power. Yeah, they're in power. So they make stupid mistakes that basically shows who they are and what their intentions are. And it's pretty clear that they want to destroy humanity. Okay, now I don't know any human in my cycle that just wake up and wants to destroy the rest of humanity. There's something wrong with that person. Yeah, and if there's something wrong with that person, then we cannot be listening to that person to begin with. Yeah, and people should not fall for it. Like, people fall for it like every time. It's crazy. It's crazy. Maybe, like the scripture say, they love the lie so much, to a point that they even protect it. Maybe that's why it's hard to get through to people. They love the lie so much. So yeah. I hope God gives you the love of truth, no matter how hard it is. So yeah, Prince Easy signing out. Bye.